Come to me, my children. Follow the sound of my voice to receive thy blessings. Unburden yourself.
Ow! 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 Ow!
And welcome to the Church of Last Resort with the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. The Church of Last Resort, where your prayers are heard, your sins forgiven, and no matter what you believe, you won't believe this shit. And now, the Irreverent Reverend, the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll.
Good morning, brothers and sisters. I want to thank you all for being here this morning. It is a blessed morning, and I just realized I'm off center. I got to fix that, but I'll do it a little bit later. I'll try to scoot, but it's imbalanced. I can't take it. What the hell? Oh, I know what happened. There we go. No, that didn't fix a damn thing. Forget it. I'm going to just ignore it as long as I can. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning. We are live, all the way live. Don't worry about your troubles or your 9 to 5. Just sail along. That's right. Good morning, brothers and sisters. That includes any new members who may be listening for the very first time. And according to my numbers right now, you aren't here yet, but you will be. People like to sleep in late and miss the first few minutes of what I'm talking about. Kind of like the way I listen to my wife. I don't hear the first few parts of what she says, and then only catch the last half and have to say, "Excuse me, Amona, I didn't catch the first half of what you said. Could you repeat it?" And that's when she says to me, "We're the only, two people in the room when I'm talking. Just assume I'm talking to you." All right. And then she starts a conversation with the cat, or she starts talking to the television, like the news or the movie or something like that. And I'm supposed to know the difference. Yes, right. So those of you who are joining us for the first time, and wherever you may be and wherever you want to be, because you may not be where you want to be, there you are. Welcome to the Church of Last Resort. I am the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, PhD, DDS, ADHD, MCMLIX. Don't forget the at the end of the X. I patented. Matter of fact, I copyrighted that. It's a trademark. People just can't go without paying me. And if they are, they're breaking the law. So if you see somebody out there in the street going and they don't give me money, turn them in. There is a $5,000 reward. That's right. A reward for people saying and not giving me my money. That's right. So people have, let me do this. People have also called me the racy Reverend, the pervert, passionate, vile, vulgar, vicar of vice, the sexy shepherd, the missionary man, the minister of mischief, the wicked witness, the dirty deacon of doggy style, the frisky fry, the ass man abbot, the booty banging brother, the handsy high priest, the father fistmas, the wicked I like to watch witness, the holy hole, the divine dominating dominee. I can't do it this morning. I can't. The depraved preacher, the minister of making love, the clergy of cunning conversation while eating pussy, and that nasty N-word. And we all know what that nasty N-word is. It's independent. That's what it is. But the point is that I come by many names and by many methods, and I do not come easy. Lord have mercy. So children, let us begin, as always, in the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor. Can I get a fuck? Yeah. Fuck yeah! And now I know it's wrong. And I will fix it. See, you may notice that the edges of my screen is like sparkling and stuff. The setting says I have a virtual background, and I do not. And it's trying to give. Thank you. I think, no, that's just my hands. Okay, never mind. If you see the sparkle of my collar disappears, it's because of things that have a virtual background on. And I do not have a virtual background. It's just trying to do that. Do that. Okay. So I did do that. Okay. But before I start the opening prayer, I want to Thank you, Brother Nepo. Thank you. That was going to annoy the hell out of me because last week after I rewatched the show, I noticed my collar kept disappearing and I kept seeing words in my collar and people were texting me saying, I think I'm getting a message from your collar and it's saying D-O. Yeah, and it was D and O. Would depend if I moved over here, it was like D, and if I moved over here, it was O. And some of my less mentally balanced people, which would be anyone watching me, thought I was sending them a message saying, do, do, do. And they were thinking, what? And so I did not want a repeat of that because I had several people doing and not knowing what last week because they saw the message in my collar. They thought the Lord was talking to them through my collar. And the same thing would have happened this week too, I think. I'm not sure what the last virtual background was. I don't know what it was. I have no idea. So I have no idea what the message would have been. And I don't know what you would have been doing or what you would have been responding to. So thank you, Brother Matt, for taking care of that. Yes, indeed. So now, it is time for our opening prayers. Now, if before I do the prayers, because you have to I'll do the prayers first, and then I'll tell you about why I'm tired. Because I am tired. I'll tell you why I'm tired after the prayers. Let's get to the prayers, because you got to have the opening prayers before you have everything else, or at least a disclaimer. We got to get at least to the disclaimer. Okay, so let's do this. All right, let's do this. It is time for our opening prayers. I said that part. Why am I repeating myself? Lord have mercy. If you or someone you know is in need of a prayer by the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, please send your request for a prayer or healing or forgiveness like Sister Leanne did, or Brother Ron Kane did, or Brother Update. Brother Update also sent me some emails last night. You can send it to drreverendjellyroll@gmail.com. Please remember to spell roll with an E on the end. Otherwise, that other Jelly Roll, not me, will wind up with your request, and you do not want that other sucker touching your blessings. All right, because he doesn't give you blessings, he sucks money out of your wallet. Okay, I have not cost you a dime except for maybe in therapy, and you should be coming to me for your therapy, and I could save you some money. Or if you need additional therapy, on April 13th, April 13th, Brother Jason Stewart is going to be having a therapy, a crowd work therapy session on plausible.com. Okay. You have to join plausible.com and look up Brother Jason Stewart. And I'm only mentioning that because that was what Sister Leanne's message was to me, that she emailed me because for that. And Brother Ron Kane sent me an email saying there's a Mr. Tongue thing, open mic, on the 7th, the evening of the 7th in Harrisburg, HMAC. He sent me that email. And then Update sent me a message saying, we have fixed your Blue Sky account and you should not have any more trouble. And so I am on Blue Sky. If you want to follow me, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll on Blue Sky, spelled just like it is everywhere else that's on the screen. Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll is on Blue Sky, and he doesn't have any friends yet. He had GD Fenderson. It's the only friend he has, because he had trouble with his account. So I got the email, they fixed it, and so encourage me on my Blue Sky account by being my friend, and then I will share my content with you. I will create some content to share. I am terrible at creating content, or the content I create is terrible. Could be either one, maybe both. So, as I was saying, now for our disclaimer. While all prayers are heard, not all prayers are answered when we want them to be. Some loopholes and restrictions may apply. All right. So if you'll please bow your head ever so slightly, unless you're driving your car or your significant other. And if that is the case, just close your eyes and let Jesus do the driving for a while. We pray. Okay. Now I know people say, why do you say that every time? Because it's a legal disclaimer. Okay, it's a legal disclaimer. I uh, unlike Trump, who gets into trouble, who gets in legal trouble and does not pay his own legal fees, he just reaches out. He says, "I'm in legal trouble," and his fans go, "We'll send you money, Mr. Billionaire. We know you can't afford all the trouble you keep getting yourself into." Okay, that's how they sound. The, some of them just grip their knuckles and they sound like this. Okay, some of them sound like that, but most of them say, "We'll send you money, Mr. Donald Trump, because we know you need the money, even though you say you're so rich, you're so rich, you're so rich, and you keep taking our money. We don't know why, and we don't know why we keep giving it to you, but we're stupid like that." I don't have those kinds of followers. So when I get into law trouble, it comes out of my pocket. Okay. I don't charge people saying, help me with my lawyers. I just come out and have a disclaimer. Okay. And if you are dumb enough to do some of the shit I say after I've given you a disclaimer, and that's two disclaimers because there's one in the very beginning. My IT guy gives you a warning, and then I just gave you another warning. So that's two warnings you got. How many warnings do you need? Lord have mercy. In any rate, what was that? Oh, it's 20 why I was tired. That's why. That's what it was. Now, I am tired because last night, my wife Amona left me for another man in my dreams. Okay, that would only happen in my dreams. And in my dreams, when she was, I confronted the man and I killed him. All right. And I buried him in the yard. I felt bad about that. I didn't think I should have killed him. So, and I knew it was a dream because of who the person was, and the person was dead. And you're thinking, whoa, your wife would rather have a dead man than you? Hey, look, you're missing the point of how dreams work. Okay. And so I knew it was a dream, and I said, I can't have this. So I went and I tried to fix the dream, and I killed him again. And I went and tried to fix the dream 7 times, and 7 times I killed him, and 7 times we buried him under the same tree in that backyard. Okay, 7 times that happened. And so in the morning, I said to my wife this morning, I said, Mona, I'm exhausted. She said, you look exhausted. I said, thank you. And I told her about the dream, and she says, oh, you silly goose. You know that I would love it if you killed for me. And she was okay with that. When you got a woman who is okay with you killing for her, you may have the right woman or someone who just wants you to go to prison. At any rate, that's why I'm tired. I don't think I'm tired from the emotional distress of thinking that my wife is going to leave me, or if I'm tired from burying 7 bodies. I don't know what's making me so tired. I don't know. But again, like I said earlier, both could be true. So dear Lord, please bless Brother Richard Chamberlain. Richard Chamberlain, the actor known for such shows as Dr. Kildare, Shogun, and The Thornbirds, has died. He was 90. And a lot of panties of a certain age are at half-mast. That's right. The 3-time Golden Globe winner died of complications following a stroke after playing golf. No, sorry, the golf thing is, I'm sorry. Whenever I hear someone died of a stroke, my brain goes to golf, okay? Because like they say, golf is like life, or life is like golf. The fewer the strokes, the better, okay? That's what I tell all my parishioners. And he died Saturday afternoon in Wanalaulawa, Hawaii. Waimanalo. Okay, I'm not Hawaiian. I don't speak it, but that's what it looks like to me. Waimanalo, Hawaii. Just days before his 91st birthday, which would have been on March 31st. So he died on, let's see, Friday. That would have been March 29th. He died. All right. So after founding the LA-based theater group Company of Angels in 1959, Chamberlain got his on-screen start in episodes of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and then in Gunsmoke and Riverboat. And in Riverboat, he played a dreamboat. Yeah, that's right, ladies. You remember Chamberlain? That's right. He was a hunk. Chamberlain's breakout came in 1961. He came out in 2003 in his 2003 autobiography, Shattered Love, a memoir. That's right, ladies. He Rock Hudson'd you. Yeah. Instead of catfished, he Hudson'd you. The man was gay, but he was your gay. He was a handsome gay. Chamberlain played the title role of NBC's medical drama Dr. Kildare. You know, I just said this part. Why am I saying it again? It must be, you know something? There must be something at the end of it that's different. I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna try it. Chamberlain played the title role of NBC's medical drama Dr. Kildare. The series won the actor his first Golden Globe before going on to win 2 more for his performances in Shogun and The Thornbirds. No, that should have been the opening sentence, not the other sentence, because they say the same thing, except for this one has more detail. I was tired, okay? I was tired. There were some, okay, yeah, here we go. After Thornbirds, damn. There were some very thorny birds. They liked him. It must have been hard for them to learn that your gun was just for show. Show gun for. You know something? I broke it up so bad, and then it was a terrible line to begin with, and then I fucked up on delivery. Okay. Over the years, Chamberlain also starred in such films as The Three Musketeers in 1973, where he played Aramis Eau de Toilette. The Towering Inferno in 1974, The Count of Monte Cristo, as some people, Crisco, as some other people would have it, 1975, The Man in the Iron Mask, 1977, which today would probably be an S&M, BDSM movie, The Man in the Iron Mask, where he played King Louis XIV, and Philippe, his twin. He was also in The Swarm in 1978, where he played the queen bee, I think. I didn't see that movie. As well as he was in shows like The Bourne Identity Made for TV movie. You did not know that, did you? You did not know that. I know you didn't know that, because I didn't know that either. I knew he was gay, but I did not know that there was a Bourne Identity Made for TV movie. Okay? What? This is like in the 70s. I did not know that. Could have been early 80s. The point is, did you know there was a Bourne Identity Made for TV movie and Richard Chamberlain was in it? He was also in Touched by an Angel, Will and Grace, Nip Tuck, Desperate Housewives, and Twin Peaks: The Return. Rest in peace, Richard. There is no return. Can I get amen to help you transition? Amen. Dear Lord, please bless Brother Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer, best known for movies such as 1986's Top Gun and 1995's Batman Forever, has died. He was 65 years old. You know what the funny thing is? It says right there in the top there. Right there in the top. It says Batman Forever. He was not best known for Batman Forever, okay? There were so many other Batmans better than him. And the only one I think that was worse was George Clooney. Okay. All right, never mind. His daughter, Mercedes Kilmer, said he died of pneumonia on Tuesday, April 1st. He was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2014 and later recovered, she added. Now, I know, see, and this was when they announced this on April 1st, it was like 10 o'clock in the evening, 10:30 in the evening. You know, a lot of people say, oh, April Fools, right? You know, April Fools, it's April, and you don't know how to take it, you know, because usually the news people are like right all over it. And they're like, well, he died on April 1st. Let's confirm this. Let's check this out first. Yeah. Oh, okay, I got it. I got it. Yes, indeed. I was reading the chat there for a second. But I forgot what I was saying before I hit the chat. Okay, Kilmer made his final appearance on film in 2022's Top Gun, Maverick. And that was a sequel to the 1986 classic. That was the last time he was seen on the screen. Uh, and that was like an homage to him by his friend Tommy Cruise, inventor of the hover-round, I think it is. So, Kilmer's early films included comedies like Top Secret in 1984 and Real Genius in 1985, and the fantasy film Willow in 1988. Now, I was told when Willow came out that it was a prequel to Star Wars, but according to Pace magazine, um, Willow is not, quote, Willow is not a prequel to Star Wars. It is a direct sequel to the 1988 fantasy film created by George Lucas and directed by Ron Howard, close quote. Okay, but if you follow the sequences of that movie, it seems like it's a prequel, but I don't know anything about it. And I haven't seen it since and have not been so inclined to watch it again. His breakout as a leading man came with his mesmerizing, leather-clad portrayal of Jim Morrison in Oliver Stone's The Doors. I want to make a person. What? Oh, I know many a person who thought that Val Kilmer was Jim Morrison in pictures. They showed pictures, and after a while they would see so many pictures of Val Kilmer, they didn't know what Jim Morrison looked like. Um, and he did a good job in that movie. He personified the Jim Morrison. After his outing as the Lizard King, which I did not know until I wrote this, that Jim Morrison called himself the Lizard King. I did not know that. But after he did that, he had a few scene-stealing scenes, co-starring roles. See, he was not the star, but he was so good at what he did that people talked about his performance and not the star's performance. Like in Tombstone, 1993, where he played Doc Holliday. Okay, True Romance in 1993, and Heat in 1995. Val Kilmer was also in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Thunderheart, and She Taint. My bad, The Saint. Technically, it was his bad if you saw that movie. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer, Val Kilmer, Val Kilmer. I'm sorry, that's an inside joke for my wife. Yeah, she's the only one laughing at that right now. And she's not even laughing at it right now because she's not even watching now. She'll probably catch this in about 13 hours. Yeah, so you're welcome, honey. Nobody else, I wrote that just for you. Nobody else on the face of this planet is going to laugh at that Val Kilmer, Val Kilmer, Val Kilmer. So rest in peace, Val. You were no one's Huckleberry. Can I get a Lizard King to go? Dear Lord, please bless Brother Larry Tamblyn. That's right. Brother Larry Tamblyn, the founding frontman and keyboardist of the Standells, brother of actor Russ Tamblyn, who played Riff in the original West Side Story, the good one, and his uncle of Amber Tamblyn has died. He was 82. His cause of death is undisclosed. That's right. Another senseless celebrity death. Another life. Another celebrity life taken by undisclosed. That's a shame. We have got to find a cause for that. A cure for that. Well, I guess if we find the cause, we might be able to find a cure. We've got to do both. The band was known for such songs as their 1966 hit Dirty Water, okay, which I did not know was about Boston, because Dirty Water could have been about any place. I did not know Dirty Water was about Boston. And, love that dirty water. Yeah, that's right. I thought it was about bathtubing. I did, because when I was younger, I couldn't understand the words. Don't. I'm gonna tell you a story. Don't, about my bathtub. Don't. I got in it. Don't. don't. Well, I was dirty. Don't. Now I'm clean. Don't. Yeah, love that dirty water. That's. I thought it was about bathtubs. That song is still played at Boston sports games to this day. They still play it at the end of the night. I guess if they win or lose, because they love their dirty water. Okay, and in addition to that, in 1965, they were on the Munsters. They played they played in the Munsters, the show. They were on Bing Crosby show, and they even performed Ben Casey, and Ben Casey. The Standells also appeared in such low budget films as Get Yourself a College Girl, 1964. I don't know if that's a request, a recommendation, or a demand, and Ride on Sunset Strip in 1967. I guess this was back in the day when real bands used to play, their hit song on in movies and shows and stuff, especially if they only have one hit song. I don't know if they had any other songs. I honestly don't. Even in researching this, the only thing that pops up is Dirty Water. And if you look at the video of them playing, them doing Dirty Water, nothing's plugged in, and their lips aren't matching up, and sometimes they're smiling when he should be singing. Yeah, because they say something, he'll say a word and he'll start smiling, and then the word start, and he realizes he should be singing, and he starts again. It's a really bad video. You should watch it. I recommend it. It's really bad, but it's not awful. It's not the kind of awful you go like, oh Lord, it's bad. Like if you're like a technician and you go like, oh, look at that shit. It's bad and funny. It's a funny bad. And dear Lord, please bless Brother Kenneth Bailey. You may know him as the Atlanta rapper Young Scooter, who was born Kenneth Bailey. He died on his 39th birthday, Friday, in a freak accident. Now, when I say freak accident, most of you are thinking like he was at a Diddy party, he slept on oil or something like that. No, because see, Diddy's in jail. There are no more Diddy parties unless he's holding them in jail. But that's what kind of freak accident you think. You hear a rapper, freak accident, that kind of party. That's not what happened. It was a freak accident because the police didn't kill him. That was the freak accident because it was police involved. See, on Friday, March 28th, officers responded to 273 William Nye, that's Bill Nye for short, Drive in Atlanta in reference to a dispute with possible gunshots being fired. And a man reportedly fled the scene on a scooter, which turned out to be a man fled the scene with scooter, according to the initial statement by somebody nameless. After suffering a leg injury in the brief foot chase, police said they rendered aid, but Young Scooter was later pronounced deceased. And I thought it was pronounced Young Scooter. I've been pronouncing it Young Scooter all this time, but apparently it's pronounced deceased. Oh, damn. I apologize. I will change the way I say it. On Tuesday, April 1st, the Fulton County Medical Examiner released the rapper's cause of death, confirming that he died from penetrating injury of the right thigh, ruling the manner of death an accident. Okay, so on Tuesday they released it. Oh man, okay. Police arrested Demetria Spence on Tuesday. She's being held with, as of Thursday, she's being held with, she's being charged with transmitting a false public alarm. April Fool's, right? Although that doesn't quite work because this happened on the 29th and he died on the 1st. I guess that was his April Fool's joke. He's like, you thought nobody was going to get hurt. I'm dead. April Fool's. A judge granted her bond on Wednesday, but as of Thursday night, she was not out of jail. And I have not researched this to find out if she made it out of jail and bonded herself out. Because I didn't give a shit. Now, family member said, quote, I hate that had to happen, especially on his birthday. It was unnecessary, close quote, for me to buy him a gift. Rest in peace, Young Scooter. Worst April Fool's prank this year. Can I get a song title? that this man did. I have no idea of any of his music, not one fucking song. Okay. And finally, Lord, please bless the entire behind-the-scenes staff at Mind Dog TV. They're truly doing your work, helping to spread your word and throughout the wordosphere. They could be anywhere today, but they are here typing shit that I can't read. And even Ian, I can say, oh, welcome, brother Ian. I'm late to the party. I'm late to the party. Yes, I am. I'm late to the reading party. Welcome, brother Ian. So they could be anywhere today, but they are here, wishing they were anywhere. And that ought to count for something. MyDogTV.com, the place to go to get all your Church of Last Resort gear. Now, let's have a bump for the Lord. Oh, Lord have mercy. I need it today. And this should be caffeinated, because, like I said, I'm tired. I buried 7 bodies before the sun came up. What did you do? Sounds like something the Army would say. I killed 7 men and buried them in the backyard before the sun came up. What did you do today? Yeah, bump for the Lord. Yeah. Thank you. Now, the funny thing is, I buried those 7 men, and if I had known that it was going to be so exhausting and that my wife was going to be so appreciative, I'd ask her to help. Maybe I'd only be half as tired. Here we go. In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Right. Now, brothers and sisters, for those of you who are in the entertainment field, actor, director, producer, musician, comedian, if you want to be on Mind Coffee with the Dog on Mind Dog TV, my friend here, Sister Curly Hair So Bright, is going to tell you how you can be on the show.
Comedians, musicians, songwriters, filmmakers, authors, and podcasters. Coffee with the Dog is booking for the
spring and summer
now. Get free publicity and hone your interview skill in a fun and safe setting. Coffee with the Dog is a live radio, live stream podcast based in New York that airs daily Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock in syndication on iHeartRadio, as well as video streaming platforms like YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, and many other platforms. Guests usually come on remotely via StreamYard, like Zoom but easier, although occasionally we do in-studio interviews. The morning show focuses mainly on comedians and musicians, and they have interviewed many top names and classic celebrities such as Robert Klein, Mike Binder, Eddie Brill, Doug Stanhope, Steve Byrne, Paul Provenza, Jeff Altman, and many, many others. For booking, go to minddogtv.com/booking.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Curly Hair So Bright. Thank you. She does a wonderful job explaining and over-explaining of what needs to be done to get on the Coffee with the Dog. Just follow those simple instructions, and you too can be on Coffee with the Dog Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Central Standard Time, like mountains. Now, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, because I know many of you have already noticed this. I know many of you have noticed it, and I'm going to address it because I don't want you. I want to remove. I don't want to think I'm hiding something from you. Okay. This is not my regular shirt. All right. This is not my regular shirt. I put my regular shirt downstairs to be washed, and I forgot to wash it. Okay, I wash it like after the show. I put it in, and because it gets hot and sweaty in here. You don't know this, but it's under here. It's like funky. Matter of fact, that's going to be another title. Funky Father. That's right, a Funky Father, because it gets sweaty under here. That's right. So right after the show, I take the shirt off. Sometimes before the camera stops rolling, I get the shirt off and I put it in to be washed. And this is not that shirt. See, that shirt breathes. Okay, that shirt is 100% cotton polyester blend. Okay, this shirt does not breathe. It's some silky thing. It's like some thing that you wear it if you don't want breathing in there, and it can't breathe. And I'm like dying Okay, I'm like, whoo, Lord. Okay, so and I know that y'all noticed that this is not my regular shirt. I know you noticed it, but you just couldn't figure out why. What's different, and so yeah. So for those of you who noticed it, I just want to yes, this is a different shirt. This is not my usual shirt. Um, now that I've addressed that, uh, now and before I start the other thing didn't start before I start that. Um, Before I start my sermon, which, if I remember correctly, it's called April Showers and Executive Powers. That's it. So before I start that part of my sermon, I just wanted to say something about those 4 dead soldiers that were sent home from Lithuania in what is called a dignified transfer. Okay. There was nothing dignified about the way convicted felon, unregistered sex offender, public housing resident Donald Trump handled this situation. Okay? Donald Trump has been criticized, and rightly so, for his absence during the dignified transfer of 4 U.S. soldiers who tragically lost their lives in a training accident in Lithuania. Okay? Now, it is a well-known fact, well-documented fact that Trump does not like the military when they have been hurt, wounded, or killed or captured. He does not like them there. He likes the illusion of strength, And so when they're hurt, when they need us the most, is when he abandons them the most. And their family, could use a little support, especially since they're not the first dead military people under his watch since he's been in occupying the White House. But I think that this is the first transfer, dignified transfer. I think I could be wrong. The point is, he was not there. Okay. Instead, he was playing golf. I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. Pete Hegseth was there, and he kept Trump up to date with a group chat on Signal. And Hegseth, sent Trump 3 U.S. flag emojis, a fist emoji, a flame emoji, and 4 coffin emojis. And then Trump responded with a 25% tariff on the soldiers because they were imported from Lithuania. Bastard. So, he's a bastard, okay? Now, this is I guess I didn't have to say. I could have just left that like it was and left that as part of the sermon, because it almost goes. Well, maybe I don't know. We'll see. Fuck, I don't know if it ties in. We'll try. We'll see. After 4 p.m. on Wednesday, after 4 p.m. on Wednesday, Trump declared it was Liberation Day, and then he left to go play golf. He waited until the markets closed because he didn't want to be around when we were liberated from our savings and retirements. The next day, as we watched the markets tank, and Trump might put it like this: nobody's ever seen tanking like this before. It's never tanked like this before since my last term. Okay, it tanked like this once before my last term. Then it tanked. I'm a tanker. I'm the biggest tanker. They should name a tanker after me. USS Trump. Biggest tanker ever. So Trump was attending, while the tanking was going on, Trump was attending a $1 million per person fundraiser for his super PAC at one of his golf courses, where he was hosting a live tournament. Saudi Arabia, because they're just trying to. They've been implicated in so much dirty shit. They're trying to cleanse their palate with sports, because they know we love teams. We love teams. Doesn't matter what the team is. We love choosing teams. And they say, well, we're going to buy sports. Okay. Well, while Trump is doing that, the NASDAQ is down. The NASDAQ is down. The Dow is down. The S&P, or Standard & Poor's 500, is so bad that the new standard is poor. and the Russell 2000 stock index is down. Okay. I'm 65 years old, and I'm just learning that there is a Russell 2000 stock index. Okay, because I'm not a stock guy. Those of you who are stock people may have known about the Russell 2000 stock index. It has 2,000 companies represented on their index. 2,000 companies. The Russell 2000 stock index. Did not know that existed until now. Okay, that's how bad things are. It is so bad that we are losing money from places I didn't know we had money. All right, that's like me. I don't know what it's like because I've never had that much money that I didn't know where it was, except for once. $20 in a drawer that I didn't know was there. Apparently, it like fell out in the wash. I had the $20 in my pocket. It got washed. It fell out the wash, fell out my pocket, got folded up with some underwear, and it was in a drawer or socks or something. And it was in the back of the drawer. At some point, I'm going through the drawers and I found a $20 bill. Okay. Now, if I had thrown away that drawer with that $20, I guess that would be the same as losing all that money in the Russell 2000 stock market, which I didn't know existed. Okay, Trump signed his executive order, which applied tariffs on about 185 countries and territories. And this included 2 places where there are no permanent human inhabitants. I know you've seen the memes where penguins are marching and attacking and rebelling against Trump's tariffs against them. Yeah, you've seen the memes. They accurately depict the insanity of this fucking man. Okay. There are no permanent human residents on those islands, Heard and McDonald Islands near the Antarctic. All right. And the same thing in the Svalbard and Jan Mayen in the Arctic. Okay. Yes. 2 more islands in the Arctic. Okay. They have been hit with a 10% tariff. And there are no permanent people there either. Polar bears, sure. Now, how come there are penguin memes, but no polar bear memes? Is it a DEI thing also? That's what Trump's going to say. They're representing the penguins, those mixed race penguins, those mixed race birds, but nobody's talking about the pure polar bears up in the Arctic. There are no mimes for the purebreds, just the half-breeds. That's what Trump is saying when he's looking at the memes, because he thinks they're real. He thinks tariffs are going to help. The fucking man's a moron. But that's beside the point. The point is, they didn't think this through. Okay, they didn't think it through. They're charging places, 4 islands, 4 territories with 10% tariffs that don't export a damn thing. Yeah. Now, do you want to know who's not on the list? I'll tell you who's not on the list. Cuba, Belarus, I got it right this time, North Korea, and Russia. Okay, now I have to say, I pronounced earlier, in practice, I pronounced Belarus like I would pronounce walrus. Yeah, I said Belarus, and I couldn't fix it in my head. It took me a while, and I had to sound it out. Belarus. Matter of fact, that's how I typed it up. I had to type it up like I was an AI person so that I would say it right instead of wrong. That's why I'm smiling, because you can't see what I typed up there. We are still importing about $3 billion worth of products a year from Russia, excluding mail order brides. And they're invading Ukraine. Now, okay. And by they, I mean Russia is invading Ukraine, not the brides. They're not invading Ukraine. Okay, point is, once the tariffs have been applied to our products, we are screwed, okay? We are screwed. Even if the tariffs are removed, we're still screwed. Now, I'll give you an example that many of you probably, if you bought a washer and a dryer, in Trump's first term, he put a tariff on steel, okay? One of the consequences of that was washing machines went up an average of $200, okay? because there's a lot of steel in washing machines. They went up an average of $200. Biden removed those tariffs when he got into office. And then the average price of the washing machines came down $75. See that? They went up $200 because of the tariffs. The tariff was removed and the prices came down $75. Where's that extra $125? Is it in savings? Was it a rebate? No, those greedy fucks kept that money. That's right. And they thought, and we were so happy that the prices came down a little that we didn't say shit about it. And we're forgotten. And even now, when once the tariffs take effect, prices are going to go up. And everybody's going to be bitching. And then they're going to come down a little bit if he negotiates something. And people are going to say, thank God they came down. It's like, no, they should never have gone up in the first place. And while I'm on the subject, I went and put gas in my car for the first time in a while because my vehicle is a plug-in. Gas is up like 50 cents a gallon. What the fuck? Okay, I had to get that out there. I know I'm late to the party, and some of you have put gas in your car every day probably noticed that already. And those of us who plug in our cars and go, okay, what the fuck? Sorry. Basically, once prices go up, they seldom go back to where they once were. And to quote that great person, I can't remember his name, Kevin Bacon. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Trump claimed that we were in a state of economic emergency. Okay. Not according to economists in the Economist magazine. Our economy, when Trump got his hold on it, before he got his hands on it, was the envy of the world. Okay, the envy of the world, because Biden did something that the economist said he couldn't do. He brought us in for a soft landing, because usually during the economic problems that we're having with the inflation and everything, there's a crash and things get all fucked up. And Biden says, no, I'm an old man and I'm going to do it the old man way. See, there's a joke that you hear on Coffee with the Dog a lot where the young man says, hey, Pop, let's run down and fuck one of them cows. And then Biden says, let's walk down and have a soft landing in the economy. Yeah. And that's what Biden did. He walked the economy to a soft landing. But people didn't appreciate it because he was taking too long. Okay. He was trying to take his time so we'd have a soft landing. He could have done shit. He could have taken a hammer to it, but at his age, he probably would have torn a ligament. So it was probably self-preservation that he didn't lift a hammer, take a chainsaw to the economy, or it could have been old man smarts. He was around for the Boston Tea Party. He was around for Civil War, and he knows the consequences, and he's learned those lessons. And I hate to be a Biden apologist, because I don't like apologizing for any politician, but I have to give him credit where credit is due. The problem is we are so fucking impatient that we didn't appreciate what he was trying to do. Well, now Trump claimed it was an economic emergency. Thank you very much. And guess what? Now he gets to do whatever the fuck he wants with the economy. Unless Congress stops him. They can stop him. They can say, they can pass legislation and say this economic crisis is over, and then Trump will not have the power to put those tariffs out there. They can do that. The Republican-led Senate did just that. They passed a bill so that, okay, now it wasn't to get rid of all the tariffs, but it was to get rid of the Canadian the tariffs on the Canadian goods. And the senators, 4 Republican senators signed on that bill. And it just dawned on me why those 4. God damn it, I'm slow. All right. This bill is by the Senate to retract, to revoke the Canadian tariffs. And the senators are Rand Paul and Mitch McConnell from Kentucky Kentucky sells a lot of bourbon and whiskey, bourbon to Canada, a lot. And Canada says, fuck it, we're not selling your bourbon. And Mitch McConnell and Rand Paul go, whoa, we can't have that. Susan Collins, Maine, okay, they exchange maple and lobster. I think Canada, they have the same lobsters. It's like there's no, I don't know what Canada has that Maine can't have, okay, except for maybe more of it. Because, Maine has maple syrup, Canada has maple syrup. Maine has lobsters, Canada has lobsters. But anyway, but they're close, and they do have travel. That's it, travel. That's right. They come across the border and they spend money in Maine. That's right. And Lisa Murkowski, Alaska, right up there. In matter of fact, they are like mini Canada. If you've ever been to Alaska, they're like, Alaska is like Canada, like Western Canada and Northern United States had a baby. All right. So those four selfish bastards. Damn it. I should have caught this earlier. I should have. But anyway, those four signed on to it. But the House, they're not having it. Okay. Mike Johnson says, no, I'm bending over for you, Trump, and we're not going to challenge you. I'm bending over. I'm taking it all. Where's my dildos when I need it? I would show you how, except for, here's the problem. Usually I would pull out a dildo and show you how Mike Johnson has taken it from Donald Trump. The problem is all all of my dildos are too big to be Donald Trump. Okay, we have documented court evidence that Trump has a teeny weeny peeny. Okay, it's in the courts. It's in legal documents. Legal documents. Okay, legal, like under oath and shit. Teeny weeny peeny. And so I don't have a dildo that small. I think I have a something? Damn it. If I had known, I do have a dildo that's small somewhere. I know where it is, and I just can't get it because I'm not going to leave the air. I'm not going to do it. I remembered something. Yes, indeed. Okay. Technically, they're not dildos. They're more like small penises for decorative purposes, straws or something. But I got them. I know where they are. All right. Anyway, so Mike Johnson has been taking it from Trump. Okay. And I would say that Mike Johnson is asleep at the wheel, but that would imply that he's in the driver's seat to begin with. And he's not. He's abdicated all of his authority. So Trump is turning our country into a third world nation, a banana republic, if you please, or banana Republicans. Yes, the banana Republicans in the third. Fuck. Damn it. All right. See, and I can't fix it. I fucked it. Damn it. I fucked up another delivery. As Matt's going to remind GD on Monday, the Reverend had 4 miscarriages at least. Damn it. I'm going to try this again because I'm going to try to salvage this. Okay. Y'all pretend you didn't hear this, and I'm going to try to say it like I wrote it. All right. You didn't hear this. Okay. Back up. La, 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 la. Go. Okay. All right. Trump is turning our country into a third world nation, and the banana Republicans are aiding and abetting him. Just like in Jonestown, they have drunk all of the Flavor Aid. Okay. Yes. In Jonestown, it actually was Flavor Aid and not Kool-Aid. Okay. And just like today, people are not going to be able to afford Kool-Aid. They're going to have to scale down and buy the the Flavor Aid. All right. But that's what they're drinking. The Republicans are drinking the Flavor Aid because the Kool-Aid is too expensive. All right. So we have 2 choices. We can drink the Flavor Aid also, or we can fight and phone and march in furtherance of a better tomorrow today. Better yet, let's fight for a better today. According to J.P. Morgan, And matter of fact, people were out marching yesterday by the hundreds of thousands. If you've been paying attention to the news or the memes, hundreds of thousands of people were out marching. And they're all different causes because Trump is fucking up so many things. You have Black Lives Matter people marching next to White Lives Matter people. I know, crazy, right? You had keep your hands off of my body, and then you had help me with healthcare in my body, marching side by side. Okay, cats and dogs marching together. Okay, so according to J.P. Morgan, J.P. Morgan says that Trump's tariffs are going to result because of Trump's tariffs. There's a 60% chance that there's going to be a recession. Okay, just a week ago it was only a 35% chance, and 2 weeks before that it was a 15% chance. All right, get your fucking umbrellas. Now that 60% chance of recession, that only applies to the well-off, okay? For them, it's a 60% chance. For those of us, or those of us who are living from paycheck to paycheck, the recession is here today, okay? And we have Trump to blame. Not Biden, not Harris, not the Democrats. Okay, Trump owns this, and he owns it all to himself. Okay, he can blame some of his economic advisors, like Peter Navarro, who when he wrote his book about the economy, which is how he got picked, Jared Kushner picked Peter Navarro, and Peter Navarro had this expert, Ron Vero, that he quoted in his book. Ron Vero is just Navarro mixed up. Yes, right. His expert advice came from an imaginary person. And so he's advising Trump. Now you see why things are so fucking crazy? Trump, and why they like each other. Because when Trump was in the media, he had an imaginary agent, spokesperson, John Barron. He used to call places pretending he was Trump, talking about how Trump is doing so wonderful. And Peter Navarro had his guy, Ron Vero, giving him imaginary advice on the economy. 2 peas in a pod, or somebody pissed in your pod. That's it. They peed in your pod. Okay, so Trump owns this, all right? Let's stop him from owning us. Don't give up your power or the fight. Okay, everyone can do something. Find your something and do it, okay? Find what your something is and do it. Now, I want to take this opportunity to promote G.D. Fenderson. He is on Gig Salad. We're going to play a little thing, a little sample of what you might get if you hire G.D. Fenderson for a Gig Salad gig at your home, private party.
My wife says to me, I can do that if you like. I'm like, trash. I said, no. What would you think I want you to play dead like that on a weeknight? It was Wednesday for Pete's sake. I gotta get him to go to work the next day. And besides, where was this cooperation 15 years ago when I was still young enough and limber enough to do the things I wanted to do in bed? All of a sudden she's gonna say, anything you want to do in bed I'm fine with? It's like, yeah, now? Now there are consequences. I can pull something out, pulling something out. And besides, if I do what I really want to do in bed, oh, she's gonna be pissed. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, she's gonna be pissed. Because we're gonna have to clean up the whole bedroom. We're gonna have it sanitized. Because, I'm gonna tell you now, the sheets are gonna be stained, the headboard's gonna be stained, the wall's gonna be stained. That's right. Because when I eat spaghetti in bed,
Now, of course, if you book G.D. Fenderson for a private party, you won't get that particular joke or a story unless you pay for it, because you've heard it. Why would he tell it again? It's just a beautiful thing. He's got over 10 hours worth of material and stuff that he's still writing today that he's never recorded, that he's still working on and just putting out there. So you can get a different show every time. So book GD Fenderson at gigsalad.com/GD Fenderson. He's according to people who've never heard him, he's one of the best comedians out there. So as I close, I want to thank those of you who have subscribed to my fledgling YouTube channel, Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll. Bless you. The same with the Facebook page, and I'm also on Blue Sky now. And we can start joining me on Blue Sky. Start following me on Blue Sky, because I'm at one. I have one follower, GD Fenderson, because I had issues with the account, and I think it's been resolved. I'm going to find out, and I'm going to start posting. Okay, so thank you very much. Two. Okay, I have 2 followers on Blue Sky. Bless you. Look at that, doubled already. Like the Lord says, invest in me and I will something. I forgot. But so thank you. Don't forget to support GD Fenderson. If you can, book them, get through gigsalad.com/GD Fenderson. The next time you have a private event. And also I will eventually become available to be hired. My blessings and blasphemy and all my games will be available to come to your home. Also pretty soon, soon as I get off my ass, and I got 2 more games I'm working on, 3 more games I'm working on. I want to have like an even dozen games, before I go to parties. All right. So on behalf of the Church of Last Resort and the entire Roll family, my wife Ramona, who loves it when I kill people for her, my kids Cinnamon and Jelly Jr. Realize that when I kill people, they get to eat. Our cat Tootsie and our dog Stop Dropping, who get the leftovers. I wish you safe travels, and I hope you will join us next week at 9 a.m. Eastern Orthodox Time on Mind Dog TV and everywhere that our word is heard. In the name of George Carlin, Robin Williams, and Richard Pryor, can I get a fuck yeah? Fuck yeah! Thank you, children, and bless you. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Bless you. There should be music. There will be music. Yes, it is. There it is.